No.
But like, no, for real.
Yeah. We're talking about workers' rights on this episode of Milk and Toast Podcast. No, I'm just kidding. If you're just tuning in, I'm here with my best friend Mitch, and this is Milk and Toast Podcast. I am fucking this shit up. I am literally destroying.
I thought you forgot who you were.
Yes, I forgot who I was. I forgot where I was, what the show is. Excuse me. If you're just tuning in, I'm your host, Logan. And this is the Milk and Toast Podcast. I'm here with my best friend, Mitch. Say hi to the people, Mitch.
Good evening.
Close your tabs, Mitch. I don't have time for this shit.
Sorry. So when as we were talking, I was waiting for you to get set up. I was legit, because we talked about Apple, and then from doing the research, I legit updated my profile. So give me like 5 minutes.
You can hear it like lagging in the audio too. Like it's like just draining all the bandwidth out of your computer.
I forgot. Like hold on. Just give me 1 second.
Like all the audio is skipping right now. I'm gonna have like such a field day cleaning this up. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna fix it right now. Let me close the rest of them. I'm gonna keep the Apple thing open. All right, I'm good.
Bitch gives no fucks. No.
Yo, I give all the fucks when you think about it.
You just said last week you didn't, so I don't even want to hear it.
That was a different circumstance.
Mitch?
No. Same Mitch. Just different circumstance. I need you to understand. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Going with the flow. How you doing, Mitch?
I'm tired.
You tired?
I'm tired, boss. I ain't even seen that film, but I know that one. I'm tired, boss.
That's okay. You don't got to watch that.
That was too much, wasn't it? What do you mean? I hear that's amazing, and it's Mike. I kind of have to.
I know, but I don't know.
See, you just mad at Tom Hanks and all them other white people, but like, hey,
it's because you know why? I have a bone to pick with Stephen King. Okay, like.
I mean, I imagine you and like half of the writers ever.
Why does he always write black people like that? Like I think I've said that before, but like you know how I'm talking, like that, like why, like why?
What do you mean? Like, what about The Shining?
Bruh, it's the same character.
I mean, don't you do that? Don't you do that?
Some magical Negro, like it's
don't
the
you
same
do that?
Shit.
No, don't you do that? Don't you do that? Don't you
That's
do that?
That's what Key and Peele's whole skit was about the magical Negroes. It's fucking Stephen King.
At the Harry Potter based one, or
no, the one where they're like where they like they're magical Negroes and they're like helping white people solve their problems and shit. Like that's what Stephen King writes when he thinks about black people.
But like, how you gonna say that one when he was like the most productive member and trying to save the day?
Who? The shiny old man?
Yeah, the only problem was how he got taken out.
He'd be like,
it was like my man walked in was like,
you got the shine. Ooh-wee. I say,
okay, you know, Logan, you know why this also upsets me? Because I like I like that old school way sometimes. And people like to forget black people used to talk like that. This is what he grew up with.
But not all of them, goddamn. He has like more than one voice. Jesus Christ. This dude, woo-wee, child. I remember I ate a magical watermelon one day, and I just got the shine.
Okay, Shawshank Redemption, Morgan didn't sound like that. So there's that.
That's because Morgan Freeman just sounds like Morgan Freeman. I don't think he can do all that. I don't think he could like change his voice, to be honest.
Bro,
I don't think he knows how. Like he's just, you know. 407 years ago. All
right, anyway, we need to move on from this because I can't do this with you right now. But in any case, I see your point, and I'll leave it at that.
Fuck Morgan Freeman, too. Fuck him, too. I don't like him neither.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's too early for this violence you have chosen. It's too early for this violence you have chosen. Oh, my God.
Yo, Logan came in to clear out the room.
We all just left. You there by yourself now. Everybody just looking at you like, oh, this black man. And I'm not talking about a room full of like white people. I'm talking about a room full of black people just being like, That ain't even necessary. Because it's not. That ain't even necessary.
It's not
Everybody
necessary.
just looking at you mouth over mouth like, why would you say that?
I feel like Bane. I'm like, I'm necessary evil. Like, it's just like...
Which wasn't the case at all.
Maybe.
No.
He had points.
Did not really at all when you think about it.
This place is a cesspool. Let's burn it down. He's like, why are you guys living like this?
I didn't know you were pro-totalitarian dictatorship.
I mean, he's not really a dictator. He's just, he's he's a liberator.
Just because. Liberator. But he's the one in complete control and everyone does what he says. He just so happens to let some of the prisoners out and go, I allow you, which is what a dictator does, to go running around and rampage around this city to help me destroy it faster. I guess.
Sure. Let me ask you something, Mitch. Why do you hate socialism?
Are you just choosing evil today? Is this what you're doing? Because I don't feel like playing knight in shining armor like all the time. But like, is this what? Just let me know now so I can, like, as we progress, I can like calm myself. And I just, oh no, he chose this. Just remember he chose this today. I don't know why, but this is what he chose. So for right now, just let me know. Are you choosing evil today? Is this what you're doing?
Answer the goddamn question. Am I choosing to be evil?
Yes.
How do you choose what you are? Like,
all right, so answer is yes. Okay, cool. Let's just move on then. All right, cool. All right. We're not.
I've been choosing violence all week.
Go give your background speech. Go give your background speech to the loyal followers. All week. Your little cult out there. So
my little cult.
Let's move on. Yeah, let's go. Yo, wherever your cult's at.
Yo, if Beyonce has the Beehive, what should my fans be called?
The Beehive? The Loganites?
The Logan? Oh, okay.
Oh my God!
I'm not mad with the Loganites.
I gave that to you. Oh yes. My God! I'm just
Logan and the Loganites. Yes. Yeah, that sounds like some goon like energy, like the Loganites. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like surround me, destroy my enemies, go fuck up Morgan Freeman.
So to Morgan Freeman and Neil deGrasse.
Oh yeah, I did fuck him.
I don't know what Logan's issues are with you, the real ones at least. But I apologize for this embarrassment. And
you don't know what my issue is with Morgan Freeman?
I don't really want to know.
You don't really want to know?
No, it's cool. We could just
to be honest, it's the same problem I got with fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
he just be talking out the side of his ass when nobody asked him to. You ever hear him talk about shit because they thought he was smart just because like his voice is deep? Like that's crazy, right? It's crazy the way humans work. You know what I mean? Because like if you have like a certain voice, they're like, ooh, you must say like smart shit, and he ain't had one smart thing to say. Like he was just saying dumb shit. He was like, you know how we stopped talking about race? I'm gonna stop calling you a white man, and you stop calling me a black man, and we're just gonna forget about racism. And I was just like, shut the fuck up. I was mad. That was just like
you would be.
Yep.
But I agree, Morgan. Keep living your life.
Damn.
You, man.
We here with that, Mitch. That's where we're at. That's crazy.
You wanted to choose evil today, and I must be the shining light through the darkness. I must be the shining light through the darkness to cut through. Away. All right. Away.
My skin is clear. Anyways.
Away.
Yo, I should probably thank everybody who listens to the show for listening to the show and sharing the show and listening. Yeah, thank you guys for listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever else. Thanks for sharing the show whenever you do, and wherever you share it. Thank you to all the Loganites out there and all the whoever follows Mitch.
Hi.
Hi. Yo, what if Mitch's fans are like the Meeseeks? Like they just want to help, but like at a morbid rate. Like they just want to help.
Where is this coming from?
Because like imagining you as a Meeseeks that like I just press a button and it's like it just duplicates more of you is like such a fun meme. Like just more. I'm sorry.
I'm joking to you.
I'm on one today. I'm sorry.
Indeed, it would seem so.
I don't even want to talk about all the serious shit we got to talk about today. Like, I want to keep riffing. You wanted to. What is that? The fuck, man?
Carry on. I'm good.
I can't. These people, they come on the show and they play these little ghetto phones. I can't do it.
What do you mean by you people?
Niggas.
Of course.
You deserve that one.
I guess I did.
Walked right into that.
Yeah, I suppose I did.
Listen, you wanted to talk about not people dealing with social disparity, but how did you say it?
It's having patience as we navigate social disparity.
What does that mean?
It means that, yes, there are certain communities affected by certain systems of oppression that have affected generations, absolutely. And there are certain things you don't say or do to said marginalized groups of people. But the thing is, we're all human beings and we make mistakes. So this is knowing when you are supposed to, basically I'm saying knowing when you are supposed to push the issue and knowing when, hey, maybe that person didn't mean to actually be an asshole. It was just an accident. They lack information. And it's for everybody across the board, because here I am, a black man. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean I want to walk around saying something to a Jewish person that may be anti-Semitic that I'm just ignorant of.
Right.
It also means, having patience with, certain Caucasian people, depending on the circumstances. Not every white person is legitimately just a fucking asshole who doesn't care enough. There are some, who are out there just like, oh shit, I didn't know that, like my B. And sometimes we turn up on those people, and that doesn't help advance what the struggle is in a positive direction. All you're doing is creating more of a divide in terms of connection between people, which it doesn't excuse anything, but it's like, you don't have to make the situation worse. Like, a person should be still, of course, obviously down, but you don't have to put that person down or put them in a negative headspace for like an accident. I don't know about you, but growing up, I didn't like people turning up on me for like really simple accidental shit that I maybe couldn't have avoided just because I didn't know better. And then being like, yo, how could you? It's like, but I didn't know better. So it's in moments like that, but it's universal because it goes any way with whatever person. No one's really exempt or excused from the situation. It's like if a trans person gets extremely livid about you not remembering or knowing their pronouns, like first meeting. You know what I mean? Even like second meeting is tough because,
Does that happen a lot? I feel like people like overemphasize that happening.
I don't think it happens like to a crazy degree with this specific example. Yeah. I'm just saying because you never know. But I'm just using it really just as an example. Yeah. But like it'd be something like that. I mean, just could you have a little patience with me, please? It doesn't mean you like excuse a behavior after a time. Obviously, there's realistically a point where it's like, nah, you fucked up for the last time. You done said your last thing or done your last thing. But it's more just along the lines of like, treating people with a bit of like humanity. Like, we're not perfect machines. People do come into a space and have no idea what's going on, but are wanting to be there in a positive way, but maybe don't get all the rules just yet. It's just like, have a little patience to maybe help get that person right, or just quickly explain to them why what they did or said was wrong. And if they don't get it after that, then of course, like, all right, then you actually are an asshole. If you're refusing to listen. Mm-hmm.
Do you believe, I didn't mean to cut you off, but do you believe that people deserve that type of patience?
Me personally, yes.
Why?
Only, like I said before, because nobody's perfect. And we're not talking about to an extreme degree where we have like made someone understand. And I'm not saying like there isn't resources out there to be a person who understands what's going on in the particular climate that you're in, politically or otherwise. But at the same time, like, I think it's just in the same way of like treating others the way I would like to be treated. But I guess this time it's like, like treating others the way I like to be treated and hoping people would treat me the same. Like, because I don't always research everything and I pay a lot of attention to a lot of things, but I know even still, maybe there's something I don't know. And I like in the generation and era we live in, like, sure, we have information at the access of our fingertips, but specifically us as Americans, like, we're not really, like, me personally, I feel that way. I'm not a politically correct dude. I'm not trying to be a politically correct dude. Like, life isn't politics. People meet and they interact in a natural way. You know what I mean? So, like, I guess that's just how I feel about it. So I'm willing to extend that patience to a certain degree, just so the person can have a moment where they really had a positive experience, just because that's just how much I guess I want people to get along. Like, I don't want any like negative triggers connected to a person, because I don't need anyone walking around eggshells around me, because I'm not walking around eggshells around anyone else.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that's just kind of what I mean. Like, and it's just you kind of notice it. It's particularly hard on white folk, I'm not going to lie, just due to what the history has been and, you know, how the emotions are.
I felt like that's where we was going. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Like, it's for everyone, but specifically for them, because it's like, sure, maybe we're not looking to have them be like our best of friends or something like that. But I don't think it's necessary or fair, because at the same time, like, I guess certain people could treat me a certain type of way and they don't, like, just cause. You know what I mean? And it's like, I can't put sins of the father on to the son, you know what I mean, in one sense. I obviously am going to be aware of what the son's doing, but I'm not going to treat you a certain way just because I'm that mad at the situation. The individual isn't always the problem, unless the individual is the problem.
I don't know about that.
State your point.
I was just thinking about that when you said it. I was like, I'm not too sure about that, because if like the sins of the father is like, I could see like if your father like stabbed your uncle, right? And you're like, man, I really like my uncle. Why did your dad have to go and stab my uncle? You know, like that's,
I'm so confused, but
that's one thing, right? Like that has nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? But like if your father is like exploiting your whole family for generations, and then you reap the benefits of that, and you're just walking around with my family's unearned income in your pocket, like, I don't know if I can just like leave you blameless that way.
Well, that wouldn't be an instance of that, because that's not what we're talking about.
I'll give you one. White privilege is one of those.
Okay, like, so white privilege, like, we can talk about in one sense. The whole check your privilege thing, even in this instance, still wouldn't be what we're talking about.
It is, actually, because it's an inherited thing. It's a thing that's
it's an inherited thing, but that's not, because if a person use their white privilege in a negative way that we could obviously see, we would say something about it.
As opposed to a positive way?
I guess if they used it to not let a police officer shoot a black human being that they're about to shoot, or something of that nature, I guess, or like stepped in to be like, hey, whatever, that would be positive.
That's still right. That's still white supremacy.
That is still white supremacy, but at least that person used their privilege, because shit like that does be happening. But no, that's still not an instance, because we call out those things, because that isn't having patience. That's stuff that needs to be talked about. I mean, in the instance of kind of like mostly like in conversation, or if you do get an instance of like, I guess, being treated like, let's say I think I just came up with one. Let's say you're going to a restaurant, Chinese American couple is told to wait. There are no tables. You come along, or no, you're there and you see that. Dude says there's a table ready for you to give you that exact same table. You see that happening and then take the table. That's an instance where we don't have any patience with you. Which I don't, wait, that's what we were trying to find an instance where we do have patience with you, right?
Yes.
All right, and I didn't. Okay. Sorry, my
so
fault.
You got one more. You got another example.
Maybe I didn't have patience after all.
You got another example. Yeah, it's real hard to fucking conjure up, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess that's mostly just in like conversational stuff. Like if you pronounce something wrong or you're trying your best to pronounce something, like I guess. Oh man! But now I have to think of Chris Tucker because that would go any way because I'm thinking of like an Asian name, but that would go any way for anyone else non-Asian. If your name's pronounced like fuck way or something like Fukway, and the person's like, hi, fuck way, and then it kind of sounds like you're being like stereotypically Asian, but like, you don't mean it to, like, but not. That's why I said I had to think of like Chris Tucker, because like in talking about the Asian community, they get like belittled so much by like a lot of communities, and people don't actually talk about that enough. Like Rush Hour being an example. Sure, it was kind of good comedy, but like Chris Tucker was also like a raging fucking asshole on the show.
It doesn't age well. Like I watched those movies, I was like, oh.
Well, I still think Rush Hour 2 is amazing.
Rush Hour 2 is good.
I still think Rush Hour 2 is amazing.
Out of all of them.
Rush Hour 1, I actually think there's no problem with, because that's Jackie coming in and Chris Tucker thinking he's an Asian, like straight up just like immigrant and not know how to deal with him, and us showing the realistic portrayal of how like a black person, the impatience a black person has with an Asian person who like wasn't born here because like they haven't like received any benefits, and then you just walk in, can barely speak English, but they treating you better than me. I think that's fine in terms of the first one. The second one, I just laughed when maybe I maybe shouldn't. The third one didn't really do much, but like the first one I think is fine. Yeah, the third one's just horrible. Exactly. I'm glad we agree on that, because yeah. But like the first instance, I think, is good in a realistic portrayal, because you got to be real about shit, whether it's a good light or a bad light. The second one we could talk about. Second we could definitely talk about.
I feel like...
But, yeah, that's kind of what I mean.
I feel like what you're asking for is grace. Because grace is something that's, like, undeserved, to be honest. Like,
wow.
It is.
You really chose evil today.
Well, this is where I'm going with it. Because
yeah, go ahead.
This is the most positive I can make your point. Like, if I was to be on your side, this is the best I could do.
But you're not. Stop. Just carry on. I don't need any sympathy or charity.
Which is like, yeah, like you're asking for grace. You're asking for like in the moment, like forgiveness for something that you might be at fault for, but like give me at least a little rope so that
I can fix this, or I can prove I didn't mean to do this. Which is the basic point, really.
Which is fair, you know. But I think that, you know, just as much as like someone may ask for grace in that situation, they have to understand not receiving it. I feel like.
Well, I'm not going to lie, you evil bastard. I will also agree with that. You don't get to just be like, oh, you know what, fuck this now. Like Miley Cyrus being so down with hip hop, then getting her ass whooped by Nicki Minaj and being like, I ain't down no more.
Right, exactly.
Like, yeah, sorry, you don't get to, oh, that one person did that to you? I mean, yeah, they shouldn't have did that. Yeah,
right.
You remember that Chris Rock sketch about the one time a white person gets to say nigga?
No.
You never? Oh my God.
Chris Rock has done so much damage to the black community. Like, I am just so tired of fucking Chris Rock. Like,
I'm sorry, bro. The joke, I thought, well, you don't have to agree, but I thought the joke was funny. but you can still understand. But still, I do get that. The fact is, a person has to understand not being given grace. I'm speaking to the people who have the power to give it, to go like, it is fair to give that grace. The person on the receiving end has to understand that those people who we're asking to give grace are also not perfect people. So you sometimes not going to get grace, and you have to continue on and carry the torch of progress still.
Just saying, if I decide to lay hands on you, you have to understand why that happened to you. You can't just be like, well, fuck this social justice shit.
That's true, but we should also talk about you laying hands on this person.
What's there to talk about?
Okay, so anyway, assault, yeah, that's all I was really trying to say. I just think for me, what it comes down to is just that, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the you just need to get over things and move on type of person in general. Yeah. But like, nonetheless, like, you can't just live, to me, in like a negative state of feeling like this is who your people are, will always be. We as Black people are not slaves. We have problems that we're dealing with, but we are not still the products. We are not just the products of our past type of deal. So I extend that grace because, like, for me, and I can only speak personally because I know this isn't the same for people. For me, I'm just in that state where I'm like I know who I really am, despite white people's efforts to keep me from the truth of who I really am, to keep me from the greatness that I am. And therefore, I'm not as angered by things that once upon a time would have had me angry. So I'm willing to extend grace a lot more.
Why do you say once upon a time would have had you angry?
Because it is once upon a time. I was a mad, like, kid. I was a person, a boy who felt like...
You mean for you once upon a time?
Yes, I said speaking personally.
No, I'm just trying to... Yeah.
Damn, like, you just evil today. Shut up. Go away. Come back when you're ready to fucking... Anyway. But no, for myself, I am just in that. And then I got to that place, I would also probably say earlier on than some, because I was also just like that really happy kid who no one could keep from doing much if I was going to do shit. And then I always like stood up for myself, like never afraid to. And even in times where I would be, I had parents who were like, yo, you have to like stand up. Like, don't you see what's happening to you right now, Mitch? Like, but as a kid, I'm like, no, I just think this person's being mean. They're like, no, Mitch, you have to sometimes. And so therefore I was in a space where I got to that point of feeling how great I was. I didn't need anybody telling me that I was a king, because I already knew that, even though I don't care for crowns. But if you want to talk about me to that level of greatness, just in terms of how I feel about myself, just in terms of how I value myself as a human being, how I value human life, like, yeah, I didn't need you to tell me. I know why the white people did all this shit. I know why they feel insecure with themselves. I'm Black and great. It's intimidating to some motherfuckers. They're going to need to learn to deal with it. But I know the truth. They do too. And that's why it's kind of been, even when I deal with white people, I've never felt, in terms of like inferiority, I never felt that once in my life, which is amazing when you think about it, but like never once in my life. It's because of being Haitian in one part. And then I guess also just in, being who I am, under having the knowledge that I have, because I'm not as ignorant as some people. That is why knowledge was kept from, slaves and stuff, for this exact reason. So like, I'm in that space personally for myself, and it's a great space to be in. Not a space everybody could reach, as quickly as you'd like, but like,
I feel as though your speech just now was inspiring. I feel it's a little unfair.
Well, I'm not, once again, speaking personally.
Yeah, but you make a lot of like comparisons to yourself and everybody else. So that's why I say it's a little unfair. Because... Well,
I guess in that sense, but remember, because I'm not trying to say anybody else could be there. I'm just speaking personally for me to explain why I'm like, because I see where that's at, and it's what was taken from us, you know what I mean, in one sense. And that was part of the plan to me. Like,
because what you kind of like conflate was like somebody's reaction to disrespect, right? To being disrespected with like their inferiority complex. Like if you have an inferiority complex, then somebody could disrespect you and then you'll react. When I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think that like some people like you can have that reaction where it's like water off a duck's back. You know, this person, they disrespected me, like it is what it is, that's their business, blah 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 blah. And for some people it might be a little bit more personal. It's like, hey, I just don't tolerate that. I don't tolerate somebody coming at me like that. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that person is insecure with themselves. It could just mean that they just don't they're just hostile to people who are hostile to them. And I think that's fair. I think that's fair to be like, you know, like you shouldn't fuck with people because you don't know who's not really fucking with you like that.
Who
you know
you're
what I
fucking
mean?
with.
Yeah, so it's like
that makes sense. And it is a case by case basis. It's not like that isn't a tell all be all, but in that instance as well, like it does just depend on what the person is dealing with, because it depends. Because I never said in terms of like disrespect, like we weren't talking about a person being disrespectful.
But when we're talking about like, you know, like people, when we're talking about like racism or like sexism, things like this, where like people have their like mishaps or their slip ups and things like that, you know, these are things that get taken as like a person. That's what the ultimate thing is like, you're disrespecting somebody. You're making them lesser, or you're trying to seem like they're lesser. You're trying to make the situation like they're lesser or whatever, and like below you and beneath you, and doing that in a disrespectful way, you know? And like, I don't know if I could turn around to somebody and be like, hey, you know, you should let this go. And if you don't let it go, this is what it says about you for not letting it go. Like, you know,
we're not talking about judgment calls. At least I'm not. I'm not saying it says anything about you. I just think you should do that. But if we do want to talk about what it says about you, we would need to talk to you personally. Like what made it really, to the truth be told, like, because after all, none of us can make that call just looking on the outside. Like if me and you see something like that happen and we're like, yo, and a person reacts the way they did, the fact is we don't, and I'm talking about the person who was insulted. We don't know what that person's day was like or what the person's current life is like. So I'm not making that call in the first place. Like, after all, we did come to agreement. I understand that the person who did make the mistake has to understand they won't always get grace. And I'm going to look at that dude and be like, sucks that wasn't me.
Yeah.
You don't have to eat that shit and then walk off. You feel me? But I'm not going to look at the other person and go like, damn. I'm honestly just be like, even if in the moment I was like, yo, you ain't got to do all that. Like afterwards, I would still be like, I wonder what they was going through. Like, why the fuck they snapped like that? So that's me. But like in the instance you're talking about, no, I think
I just
that
require
kind of
a little humility is all. Like from the offending party, I think that like if you are offending people, you know, whether intentionally or not, if you find yourself in a situation where you've offended somebody, I feel like you need to eat it.
Humility,
like you need to eat whatever consequence that comes to you, you know? Like
humility within reason, obviously, but yeah, humility is key. You're the one who put yourself in that situation still.
Yeah.
I'm asking for people to give you patience so you can be humble about it.
No, you know what? That's good. Yeah.
No, like literally. It wasn't meant to be like, hey, oh, sweet, we get to get away with shit. It's like, no, I'm asking people, and mind you, once again, universally, when this happens, to have patience so the person you're having patience for can show humility and in fact be showing that they actually, because that's how you tell whether someone meant to do something or not. But then again, on the other side, someone would say, well, like, yeah, you know, maybe I'm just going to react in the moment, and it's going to be like, yeah, but still, you're the one who was, so you need to work on that. But yeah, it's a patience for humility. Like, we're trying to form an actual connection during a moment that may not be so comfortable for either of us to build towards a better future. And that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
There's one little thing, but yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Thing how to do it.
Because me, like, if I show up into if I show up to India and I want to learn about the culture and everything, and then I take like a traditional dance form and I do it all out of step as if, and the people there are like, you're doing that wrong. And I'm like, hey, y'all don't know me like that, man. This is how I move. That wasn't me being too humble about the situation.
Right,
if they curse me out and throw me out the country, like, well, I mean, that's excessive, obviously. Like, maybe just I'll get on a plane and leave, obviously. Like, damn. Nigga, y'all bougie out here to fuck. But, no,
they
but,
really
like,
take their
in a
dance
similar...
seriously.
Yeah, right. Like, damn, shit, my toes were on lockdown for, like, they put literal cuffs on my toes. They said never get... But, like, some shit like... But, like, no, in that moment... If those people had patience for me and I sat there like, yeah, all right, man, well, it ain't that cool anyway. Like, I didn't want to, asshole, I'm the fucking asshole.
Yeah.
If I didn't go, all right, my fault. I didn't know. Show me the steps. How do they actually go? Like, I'm gonna do it to the best that my body's able to do it. But yeah, let me learn a little bit more. Obviously, I'm lacking knowledge on the situation. If the response isn't of that, I'm an asshole.
Let's talk about your mentor.
What?
Sean. Let's talk about Sean, your mentor.
Sean King?
No. What? Sean King is Sean King is a grifter. He's not a good mentor.
No, is that who you're talking about? Which Sean are we talking about?
Let's talk about Sean Carter.
Oh, what? Sean Carter, right. Sorry. I'm like, what? Sorry, that's a mistake. That's definitely a mix-up I shouldn't be making.
Damn, Sean King. Yo, listen. If you listen to this show, let me help you. Stop giving Sean King money. Just stop.
Think people give Sean King money?
Yes. This man is a grifter, and all he does is try to profit off of black people dying. Just stop giving this man money, please. It was like cute when Tumblr was out and like he was hanging with D-Ray, but like just stop giving. Like D-Ray's not a thing anymore either. That's weird.
D-Ray Davis?
Yeah. Remember that shit?
The comedian from Wild 'N Out?
No, not D-Ray Davis. Shit. D-Ray McKesson. Like he was another.
I have no idea who that is.
He was a Black Lives Matter activist. He used to tweet a lot. Yeah, he's been taking people's money too. I don't know what to say about all that.
Okay.
That's just there was a time where like there's a lot of Black Lives Matter like peoples and they was just taking people's money and.
Well, you did hear about them buying a house, right?
Yeah, they like bought
that is not for the community whatsoever. That is a personal bought house for them. You heard about that, right?
Yo,
I'm surprised we haven't. Like that's legitimately
black people can't have nothing,
bro. Like that's legitimately the black mega church church scheme.
Yes,
politically done.
Yes,
like
how the fuck you just buy a house, like,
bro? And then you didn't even try to hide it. You put it on the website,
right? That's weird.
That's petty as fuck. Like you probably was like, well, you know what? They go, y'all want to be mad? Be mad. Like
my favorite grift from that, like the end of that era, was the black girl that like pretended to be MAGA and pretended to get kicked out of something because she was MAGA. Like she was wearing like the red hat, the Make America Great Again hat and everything, and she got all these white people to like give her like almost like $300,000 or some shit, and then she was like, just kidding, like.
Oh, but no, this is well done. This is well played.
No? Yeah, it was very well done. It was
like, yeah, shit, wow, I should have did that.
I think she got sued, and I think she had to give some of the money back, but like,
damn, white folk be mad.
Yeah, I
would have just been like, I turned a new leaf. Yeah. Straight up, like, yeah, what you mean?
Yeah,
like, I would have been in court.
Like, you're just like, like.
I would have been in court looking at the judge. I would have been in court, not even explaining myself. I would have been in court looking at the judge, like, ma'am, you made all these, and then just looked. I wouldn't even such it. Just looked at the judge. I want you to write me a check too, and then walked out the courthouse. How dare you even call me infidel? Like, you stole millions of dollars from these. I want my check from you too. Walked out the courthouse.
Power.
Bailiff, please arrest that man. Get your hands off me. Get your hands off. Bro, straight up, like, I feel like that's like fair play. Like, these people, I have used the hate and negative vitriol from these racist white people to uplift myself and hopefully my community. Hopefully, allegedly, yes. But nonetheless, I feel like this is right, country. If not, you know what? Y'all want this back? All right, that's cool. I need my 40 acres and a mule then.
Let's listen to Jay-Z complain about being called a capitalist. This is...
Wow, that's how you put it. This okay. Anyway, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, do that.
Yeah, and we're not gonna stop. You know, the hip hop is young. We still growing, and we're not falling for that technology, whatever. You know, this public.
I want to pause for a second.
Did he say technology or technology? Yes. He did say technology. Okay, cool. I like for whatever reason. Like, I guess we was thinking the same thing.
Did anybody hear that?
I did, and I love new words. So carry on. And I understood exactly what he meant.
Now, you know, before was the American dream. You pull yourself out of bootstraps and you can make it in America. All these lies that America told us our whole life. And then when we start getting it, they try to lock us out of it. They start inventing words like, you know, capitalist,
which is true.
And, you know, things like that.
But that's not the reason that word exists.
We've been called nigger and monkeys and shit. I don't care. Those words y'all come up with, y'all got to come up with stronger words. When I say y'all, I'm not talking about you. The words they come up with, they got to come up with stronger words.
All right, we have to pause right here because at first, like, I was listening to like somebody else like talk about this shit, which is like, oh wow, you're talking about something somebody already talked about. Yes, that's what this show does. But like, they were like alluding to the fact that like, you know, he compared being called a capitalist to the N-word, and I was like, I don't think he did all that. And then like now I'm on my own show, and I'm like,
see,
yeah, he definitely did that.
Like.
Nice.
Like, no, he did.
I was like, Sean, that's not.
We're not gonna.
That's
yeah,
not
we're not gonna pretend he did that. We're not gonna pretend he didn't do that. But
like, it's not like. I want to say that's not the same thing, but it's like it's not even in the same category. Like, it's not. I understand where he was going with it, where he was like, you know, they want to call us names, but like. That's not
capitalist isn't it. Capitalist is not it.
It's
mind
not,
you, never mind.
And it's not like he's wrong about like capitalist being used as a derogatory term nowadays, right? Like now, like people call you a capitalist, like, oh, you probably didn't vote for Bernie or some bullshit. Like, you know, it's like, you know, it's a social thing. It's like it's a dig. Like, you know, it's like it's something, right? But like.
Yeah.
It's not nigger. Like it's not
nigger. Like, no, and specifically, it's not nigger.
Yes,
it's specific that it's not nigger. Capitalist is not nigger. They don't ring the same. If
at all
whatsoever. We all know this when we hear it. Capitalist isn't blanked out on radios and public television. Not used in speeches and in public.
They don't even
like
blank it out in like China, like a real communist country. They don't even blank it out there. Like, you know what
exactly.
I mean? It's like it's not even
you imagine there, they'd be like, oh,
yeah. It's like no, it's not. They don't give a fuck. Like it's like this isn't. No, it's not.
So we're not gonna use capitalist as a derogatory term for a human being right now, even though it kind of is, which I'm willing to have the conversation about, but we're not gonna do that.
If the N-word, right, was like the bar, it would be like 0.0005% the offense that the N-word generates. Like
for the record, I don't give a fuck. Nigger is the bar. I don't care. Nigger is the bar. And if you disagree, me.
I'm not gonna fight you on it.
You can at me. Tell me how. Bring in any single term you want to. Jewish terms, Hispanic terms. Nigger is the bar. We could get into the history about it, but that's the bar, and capitalists don't come close. There are words that come close.
You bring up a good point. You know what?
There are words that come close.
You know what I don't like? I don't like when somebody's like, I'm black and I think nigger is the worst word. And then somebody's like, that's anti-Semitic. And it's just like, is it? It's like
what?
What? It's like, bro, we don't even talking about me.
Bro.
Like, I obviously, like, oh, you don't care about Hispanics now? It's like, no, I just care about me. Like, I think somebody who offends me is particularly heinous because it's happening to me. Like, that's a normal thing.
I'm going to be completely respectful by not saying these words out loud. But
don't say any slurs, Mitch.
Nigger is the bar.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say the K word that the Jews don't like.
Okay.
Or the S word that the Hispanics don't like.
I'm not going to talk about frame it like that.
I'm not going to talk about the F
everybody
word.
Shouldn't like
the LGBTQ community doesn't like. No, but I'm just saying, nonetheless, I don't like N-word.
Right.
But for me, that's the bar. The K word, F word, and S word do not. Well, those are the ones actually that do come close. But nonetheless, they're still not the bar. Those are the ones that come close for obvious reasons, but they're not the bar.
This doesn't have to be an argument, is what I'm trying to say. That's all.
It already is an argument.
Maybe
I've chosen evil too.
I don't know.
Maybe you've corrupted me in this moment, and I'm fighting through some shit right now for my life.
No, don't blame me for this shit.
Yeah, no, don't you do this? You're like, wait, no, I can't take all that. No, I'm not gonna be the one that corrupted Mitchell. Like, no. But no, it is you. It is you. It is you. You did all this.
Don't at me for that.
Those words are not the bar for me.
Get your boy. Like, I hate when people say, get your boy. Yeah, all right. Anyways, let's resume with what Jay-Z's nonsense. What he got to say.
We're not going to stop. We're not going to be tricked out of our position. Y'all locked us out. Y'all created a system that, doesn't include us.
Tricknology does fit.
We went our alternate route. We created this music.
That's all I'm saying.
We did our thing.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I know. I should have kept that in. Yeah, I'm like, yo, and he's explaining it. Like, listen, all I heard was a term, a definition, and it was used in a sentence is all I'm saying. All I'm saying.
You know my other gripe about this, because some people, like, they really lit his ass up over this shit. And you can tell Jay-Z is new money. Like, he's not old money. You can tell. Like, he's just...
Like, how could you not...
The way he talks. The fact that he's even mad about being called a capitalist. Like, fucking Warren Buffett's not mad about that shit. Like,
no,
it's
not
like...
at all.
He's like, nah.
But he didn't like the term because it felt evil to him, which I understand.
So what?
That part I get. So what do you mean? So what? That's the entire point of his speech right now, isn't it?
No, this is what I mean by he's not old money, because like old money people, when they just have money, they just fucking have money. Like they just like they don't give a fuck. Like you could call them the son of Satan. They'd be like, is that what the poors are calling me today? Like it's just like they don't give a shit. Like they have a yacht to go to.
Yeah.
At 2:00, and they don't have. There's nothing to do with this.
It really do be like that. Get yelled at on your walk to work in the morning. You fucking evil bastard, billionaire capitalist pig. I hope your children burn in hell and die. Ugh, honey, you won't believe what this crazy woman called me on my way to work today. Yeah. Anyway, break open the 1821 Cabernet. Have him bring up some caviar.
Jay-Z just has too much time on his hands, because these are people talking about him that he's never going to meet in his life. You know what I mean?
No, facts. Like, but my man from Marcy Projects, he was like, hey, you're not going to talk about me the way you're going to talk about me, son.
We hustled. We fucking killed ourselves to get to this space. And, now it's like, eat the rich. And man, we're not stopping. So that evolution is, from us, we came from selling 7 records and selling records out our trunk, and no radio play. And I think Reasonable Doubt did 36,000 the first week or something like that. I make
what?
It's just I don't know. I'm internally now laughing about what you said about him being mad at being called to cap. It's like he's so new funny. It's like my man is acting legitimately like, yo, how dare y'all, man? How dare y'all, man?
That's somebody who's not used to having money, right?
No, I guess
you're not in that world like that.
I think it on some ways it's actually admirable, because he was like upset. He was like, "How dare you compare me to them? Like, how dare you compare me to them?" And on some levels, I get it. And just I kind of laugh when I hear it. And I'm like, damn, my man is really hurting right now. My man is like, yo, he's like, yo, I was cooking on this stove, selling these platinum records for you to do this? You gonna talk to me like this, son? Like, oh, you gonna act like I would have sold out? It's just kind of funny when I think about it, actually.
Like, Jay-Z is like the perfect capitalist. Like, he is the...
he's actually how it's supposed to work.
He's done everything that you would think. Like, he's shot people. Like, he's like,
yeah,
he's
straight
really,
up. He's like straight up.
Like, he's straight up.
Like, from bottom to the top. Like, you are the embodiment of what a capitalist actually is. Like the little rich bastard of a fucking son who just was born with $1 million is not a capitalist. It's you.
No,
you're the one who understands gaining
like he's
capital.
actually capitalized on other people's situations, ate them up. Like he's literally
like
jumped
you're legitimately
over people,
the
fucked
standard.
up their record deals and shit. Like he's
like
done
you
a
are
lot.
the standard. You are the standard. Well done. Well played. Well played. Monopoly was about you.
Yes!
Not Warren Buffett. It is not Warren Buffett, Monopoly. And that's the racism. Because it should be Jay-Z's face on that goddamn box. That's the real problem here. That's the real fucking problem. It should be his face on the box. Because it wasn't Warren Buffett is like, what? He's a trust fund baby or something like that, right? His dad did something. He's a trust fund baby or something like that, right? His dad did some evil shit.
I don't know. But he had enough money to like invest in Coca-Cola when it was good. So
I don't know,
like,
right? I don't. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Back when Coca-Cola was like Bitcoin or whatever.
Jay-Z's face on the Monopoly box is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I want Marcy Projects on the next fucking. I don't care how much it's worth.
I may be adding a little to it. So. I come from Marcy Projects. My first house, 615 Lexington Avenue. My grandmother's house, 7 families lived. Like, she has 7 kids. My mother and, my parents and siblings lived in that house. My aunt Niecy lived in that house. Hootie lived in that house. Butchie lived in the basement.
Who is Hootie, by the way?
I had no clue
Hootie and Poochie, bro?
These fucking people are.
Like, he literally, like, my only problem was, like, he literally named who these people were. He's like, my mother, my aunt, and I was like, and then all of a sudden, Hoochie, and I'm like,
yeah, he came out with all these weird ghetto names.
And I was like, is that a cousin? Is that a cousin? Because and maybe it's on me. No, have patience with me, Jay-Z. We talked about having patience during social disparity.
Small Joe Budden, like, say some people we know, like, what the fuck?
Bro, but no, these were people. So I should probably know. I haven't listened to enough music probably. So please have patience with me. I just didn't know who those people was, and we jumped, and I was like, Are you incriminating people right now?
Like, damn, Hootie and the Blowfish was living with you? Like, you got
now you're being disrespectful. You keep choosing evil. You go ahead and keep choosing evil. But anyway, in any case, I just want to know.
One house. I went back to that house. I did an interview with Oprah, and I couldn't believe how small.
You can't complain about being a capitalist and then name drop Oprah.
Shut up, bro.
You can.
Yes, you can. Nah, yes, you can, actually.
Can you?
Because Oprah does interviews with non-rich people. I'm mad I said that like that. Anyway, Oprah does interviews.
Say poor.
Oprah does interview with people who are like, poor people, or, I don't like where this went. I no longer like this conversation. I'm gonna excuse myself. I'm recusing myself from the conversation. I don't know what you've done to me.
All of us lived in that house. So, again, that evolution that you speak of, it's just real, and it's happening in real time, and I'm talking about it. And, we're not going to stop, and we're not going to stop talking about it. You're not going to trick us out of and make us feel ashamed to be successful in a place that, set up a system for us to be dead at 21.
Which was his main point, I believe.
That was his main point. Because, like, he has a good point. Like, he's got a good point. But the brother just been inside way too long. Like, like he hasn't seen sunlight in a little bit. I don't know. He's like ultra rich now. That's his problem.
Well, now, but when is this interview? When was this interview?
Not too long ago. This was on Clubhouse or some bullshit.
Oh, like, yeah. No, he's like literally a billionaire. But that's how you gotta understand, man. So Jay-Z not thinking of himself as capitalist is funny because he is legitimately the standard. That we can't deny that. No, he's legit the standard of what a capitalist means. Especially because capitalism was about being I mean, okay, technically it's not about being poor, because if you already had capital, the point was you had capital and you capitalize on the capital you have. But nonetheless, like, you are still the standard in terms of what the American dream is supposed to mean. You know what I mean?
Right.
So no, capitalist is an offensive term to you, especially because you are the standard. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I apologize. Now, but what he's talking about now, he talking rich nigga problems. Like,
yes.
You know, I know you hate Charlamagne the God, but like, these are rich nigga problems.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. And, you know, it's fair to him. He can only be who he is. These are his problems to deal with. He's being interviewed about what he's dealing with. But yeah, you do enter into a space and it's like, hey, yeah, I bought a Gucci belt. But then you walked into like the Chicago Fair, whatever, with all these billionaires and trillionaires, and they're like, oh, really? Really, Gucci? Jesus, Mary, look at them. Wasteful. Bill Gates being like, because, you know, he pulled up in some fucking New Balances. Well, you know, I don't think it's that big a deal.
So
but like, yeah, I don't see the point.
That comment.
Really? He doesn't wear New Balances?
It's just like the whitest shoe.
No, I know, but yeah, shit. I'm sorry, damn. For the record, I like New Balances. My dad wore New Balances too. Like, I think New Balance is a good shoe, for the record. I know. That's not fair. But anyway, not fair. But yeah, you're right. It is the reason. But like, I always thought New Balance was a good shoe personally, and I figured Bill Gates was the type.
Bad Haitian, like
New Balance is no, goddamn it. New Balance is a good shoe, goddamn it. It was a decent, cost-effective shoe, durable. You're not gonna disrespect my daddy on the podcast, goddamn it. My daddy worked hard for his money. Okay. Goddamn, he worked hard for them goddamn New Balances. He was comfortable, and they was comfortable shoes. In any case, yeah, Bill Gates pulled up a New Balance, was like, oh my God, Gucci's so wasteful. But there is that kind of like trying to make you feel embarrassed about the purchases you're making when we're all making money. We get to spend however much we make it. Like, fuck, it's racism continued on, and it's disgusting and needs to stop. For real.
He's talking about racism on a different level.
Yeah, and like, once again, yes, it's rich nigga problems, but it's still racism.
Because this just points where he should have just stopped talking, right? Like, that's
only
problem.
You. I don't feel like that. That's only you. You want to talk about what you want to talk about? Go ahead and speak. Damn it. You want to. I mean, sure, the capitalist dig was a little much, but he didn't like inflate or anything like that.
This is my problem too. I'm on his side. Like
I know, this is why this is such a weird conversation for me.
It is the weirdest conversation because I'm with him about this because like a lot of the people that were tearing him up, I'm like, what the fuck you expect from Jay-Z? Like, I don't understand.
Like, yeah.
Like, is he really the enemy like that? Like,
no,
we got like
not really. I mean, technically they're all the
billionaires
that
are like wasting so much money and like polluting the atmosphere with like rockets and shit. Like Jeff Bezos blasts off in a dick rocket.
It's crazy how I haven't talked about that, about how it should be illegal to have such excess of finance. I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna put that in the chat. We're gonna talk about that next time.
I don't even know. I don't know if that's true.
No, you don't have to agree. That's how I personally feel.
That's how you personally feel?
I'm gonna explain though how I would set it up, but just like if we were talking about realistic reparations in our society, but I'm going to explain. But I have to write it in the chat so I don't forget.
Okay. Because I feel like this. There are examples of obscene wealth that we could like really latch on to, and like I don't even know how to say it. Like, it's just like Jay-Z, I don't like, even though we have jokes and like, yeah, like he's the standard of what a capitalist looks like, you know, I don't feel like he's like our main threat. Like,
well, that's because so yeah, we look at it in terms of war, like we're like, oh, it's the enemy, but capitalists aren't. People decided to create a system that works like this. It's been a benefit to a lot of people, regardless.
But to Jay-Z's point, capitalism was never supposed to work for him in the first place.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And that's why he doesn't like being called the term, I feel.
Yes, which is like dumb, nonetheless. But he's right to be like, get off my back a little bit.
Yeah, don't
you know
be putting me I'm not one of them. I'm not fucking JP Morgan's son. Fucking like, what is he mad about me for? Like, which is fair. But there is a side to like, we can't show an easier hand towards black billionaires because like I said, I'm a man who believes wealth to an excessive amount should be illegal after all. I'm not going to be up in your ass about it, but I think that should be legally set into a country's standard. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to talk about that next time. I'll explain. But yeah, we can't show a softer hand just because we can talk about the history for them, which is going to be different from what it would be for Donald Trump or JP Morgan. We're not maybe going to be as mad at Jay-Z naturally because, my man came up from Marcy Projects and was just trying to do him to the best he could. And he got here. This is what he wanted. Okay. But
I just don't feel like attacking black billionaires with the same amount of force that
technically you don't have to. That's what I mean. It's like, it's not going to happen.
I don't feel like they deserve the same amount of smoke that like billionaires who actually like their granddaddies actually created the system. You haven't
been doing anything. Yeah, Jay-Z just came into his amount of wealth. I get it. So I guess we could talk about it in 20 years and see what he does with his wealth. But he created a school.
No, Blue's gonna be all right. Like Blue and the twins, they're gonna be fine.
All right for the rest of her life. Blue's
they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be the
rest
new
of their
like
life. Yeah.
They're gonna be the old new money. Like like if they keep it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, why? How? Like, to be honest, I don't know if he can mismanage. I'm
waiting for his grandchildren to be like mad spoiled and shit. That's what I'm waiting for. You know what I mean?
Or be like, yeah, we spent all the money, we don't know what to do anymore.
Like that's old money.
Like how? Because we're all just good. Because if that was ever the case, we'd look at them and be like, how?
Right.
How? Now we're not mad at you. We're just disappointed.
But like that's conceivable. But that's conceivable that his grandchildren would squander all of his wealth and then they had.
But if they weren't, if they did, and it wouldn't even be his grandkids. We're really talking about like his great Morgan, like great grandkids.
JP Morgan was alive since the time of like fucking Teddy Roosevelt. Mm-hmm. And we still know what JP Morgan is today. So
Chase Bank?
This is not the same thing we're talking about. One thing is not like the other. Like one guy like was selling records out of his trunk. The other guy owned the banks. Owned them. Like this is different. And
was keeping guys like him who were, the predecessors to Jay-Z down in the process.
Yeah, big down. Like not even a little bit. Like big time.
Like not even a little bit. Like yeah.
What? Like
niggas think they can compete with me?
It's not even like
honey, go buy out the block.
It's not even to like celebrate Jay-Z or anything, but it's just like
this has not been a celebration.
The fight that I saw people have, like the energy that they had for Jay-Z. I'm just like, y'all got a lot of energy.
That hard? Really? To be like, yo, where's my check, Jay? That's all that energy is. That's really like just like, I thought we was all I thought we was all gonna make it, Jay. Where's my house, Jay? Why I got a Bentley on the block, Jay? All right, then fuck you, nigga. When it invested all this time and money and energy, sold out.
I will say though, on that point though, he should stop talking about Marcy Projects. Like he should stop talking about Marcy Projects.
Has he rebuilt them at all?
I don't think so. No.
He might be just on the low. We might not know about it, so it doesn't get. Okay.
No. I think he brings like turkeys to like, Thanksgiving or some shit, but like
that's sweet.
He can help those people out.
Logan's
this is a choice.
Logan's the nigga looking. He driving past the turkey drive like, wow, just turkeys?
Yeah, that's right.
Look at that building, but y'all happy for turkeys. All right.
Is there
drives off.
Is there like stacks stuffed into turkeys or some shit?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Here's a turkey and a $500 gift card to Macy's.
Like what?
Oh man.
$500 what?
Oh my god. Oh, so wild today.
What is it? What did he say? When did he say?
Technology, whatever.
No,
hip hop is young. We still growing, and we're not falling for that technology.
Yo, it's there. I put it in the dictionary. It works for me.
Who you fighting? That's all I'm saying. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, man. Oh, shit. Works for me. Works for me. It's in my dictionary.
Like, okay. Anyways, this like. Meanwhile, Puerto Rico doesn't have any fucking power.
Oh, we should. Well, maybe not now, but quick spotlights.
I just wanted to talk about because I just wanted to say something about it because like
praise and blessings and strength to Puerto Rico right now. I actually shared something on my Instagram if anybody follows me for donations. I haven't donated yet, and I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's just how poor I am right now that I literally can't. But definitely help Puerto Rico. It's on my profile. I shared a story. There must be many of links and everything.
We'll share a link too. Out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They aren't just a territory. That's one of the states. I don't give a fuck what no one says.
They don't really want to be a state, though. A lot of them don't want.
I mean, no, and I'm okay with that. But Puerto Rico to me is like a state, man. It's just as important. So are the other territories, even though we don't talk about Guam. They really wouldn't want to be. I get it, but like nonetheless, like help them. It's America.
It's so weird. America has territories.
Yeah,
that's a little weird.
Yeah,
that's a little much.
Yeah.
It's like a little gross.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. It's just like what is this? A limbo piece of land you own? Like what is that?
That's literally
that's nasty.
Kind of. Yeah. But
it's like
help them people out. Yeah. But specifically Puerto Rico is because Puerto Rico is responsible for a large portion in terms of our U.S. armed services. Like I believe that's part of the deal. Like Puerto Rico legitimately gives people to like military, or the country has some sort of deal like that, and they do that. They've been helping the armed forces since being made a territory. So being territorialized, which is a word I probably just made up.
I don't know why my brain works this way, but I don't know why when you said Puerto Rico was responsible for, my mind filled in the blank and said Bad Bunny. Like I don't know why.
Okay, so Puerto Rico, I apologize on behalf of the podcast.
But it's true.
Logan, but on behalf of the podcast, get the fuck out.
There's something to be said that you just enjoy the trappings of a culture, and then you don't like take care of them and make sure that they have power for.
Oh wow! So that was wow.
That was a good save.
We were here to talk about Puerto Rico, bro. You didn't ask you to get personal.
What?
Like, we were here to talk about. Well, any case.
I'm just saying, there is something to be said about that.
Yeah, definitely. There definitely is, Logan. Thanks for sharing.
Anyway, I've been a piece of shit today. I'm not gonna lie, but I did want to talk about Puerto Rico because like the media decided not to talk about Puerto Rico and decided to talk about the old white lady that died in England. So
instead,
it's like, it's like, all right,
come on, man, really?
It's like people,
really?
Like, these are real people. Like that's one lady
dying.
You didn't like
who's having a funeral.
Yes.
You couldn't even like at least do. You could have did that at the same time, but England was probably like Hispanics during the death of the Queen.
No, I want to know CNN and NBC and all you other ones. Like, what the fuck does that got to do with us? Can somebody tell me?
I mean, there was that issue in 1776.
Nah, that's mad. Okay, so time is so convenient for white people. like
I don't even I don't know, that just made me laugh, but please explain. I don't know why that had me just like something was just like that.
Because when they want to remember shit, it's like, oh, it's just like it's yesterday. But then when they don't want to remember shit, it's like slavery was so long ago. It's like, pick a struggle.
Like, come on. Yeah, for real. Like that happened so long ago. Really? You mean what my grandma was dealing with, bitch?
Right. The fuck you were talking about?
How dare you? How dare you? What's her? I forget the first woman. It was in the 1960s when she went to school, but she's just aging great and like
Ruby.
You can see.
Yeah,
and she's like still like regular, like thriving right now, living her life. And you want to talk about so long? Fuck off my dick. Fuck off my dick. Matter of fact, suck my dick. the prettiest white woman you can provide. Suck my. No, I'm sorry, that was too far. Wow. But like, yeah. That was too far. I'm sorry. Yeah, that took a turn for the worse. I apologize. This is your fault. Anyway.
Me?
Yeah.
He's fucking
me?
Yeah. This is fucking punishment fetishization thing going on over there. I'm like, I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you probably don't. All right, can we move on, please? Like, I'd like to go home.
We're not falling for that technology.
Yeah, we're not falling for that technology.
Wow, that's just gonna be we're just gonna be using that from now on. It feels like. I hope Jay don't sue us. Actually, I hope he does sue us, because then we could like get a whole bunch of traction.
Clout.
Oh, that'd be so awesome. Please sue us. Keep using it. Oh God, please sue us for the clout. We'll make so much money that he'll probably take. But in the meantime, we'll have all that money to spend.
Yes.
Oh man. But yeah, I like it. Tricknology is my new term.
Tricknology.
Hey yo, I'm tired of using tricknology. White people get up off of me. Hey yo. Sorry.
Wow.
It was vibing a little bit. I can make that a song.
No, let's get out of here.
Yay! That's like always the word I'm waiting for you to say, but don't hear soon enough. It's not personal. Like
I like how you both like and hate being on the show. Like you just like you're like yeah, I'll do the show, but then at the same time you're like, I can't wait for this shit to be over. This is the
worst period of my life ever. I can't believe I agreed to this again and again. Upon each morrow, I walk into the office. Proverbially, I mean, since there is no office.
Yeah, that's it.
Close the show, goddammit.
I be thinking of the reasons. I'd be like, why does Mitch do the show? Like, I'd be like, why? Like, he's surely has a better life than me. Like, what is he doing? Like, Then I'd be like, yo, you come in at 7:30 or what? Like, I just texted.
Mitch, I'd like to go home, please.
Mitch, do you have anything you want to leave the people with?
Patience and humility. I mean that shit. Jay-Z's face for Monopoly 2023. And on a serious note, prayers up for Puerto Rico. Blessings be upon Puerto Rico. Please donate, help them out. No one likes being hit by a hurricane. No one likes being hit by any natural disaster. Right. Please help those people. And Mitch out.
Americans need to act a little better when it comes to Puerto Rico, especially with the hurricane situations, because like Florida gets hit with hurricanes all the time, and it's literally like a national crisis. And like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe Floridians should even donate a little bit more. The problem is though that usually when Puerto Rico gets hit with a hurricane, we get hit like right after. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's still like, just because like it's Puerto Rico doesn't mean that we shouldn't be like helping them as well. Like, like, I don't know. It just gives a lot of people opportunity to like do the right thing, and sometimes it just feels like that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I'm holding out hope that, maybe things can be different. Puerto Rico has been, I will say this, they have been without lights for like a whole fucking week now. So like, it's like the hurricane hit last week and they still don't have any power on their island. So it's like, yeah. And it's like, we don't even have like a response for that. Like, I don't understand. Like what's, I don't know. Puerto Rico is just like a tax haven for the U.S. and that's, why they have it. So, yeah. Which is sad. And shout out to Bad Bunny too. Don't let Mitch get you down. Yeah, Mitch. Listen. Hey, listen.
Not falling for that technology.
I would like to go home, sir. I would like to go home.
Yo, I would like to say to the socialists out there, just pick better battles. Like the Jay-Z topic is interesting because, like, yeah, he's a pop culture icon and everything, but like, is he really, like, I feel like he's just such a bad hill to die on when it comes to like fucking like making support for like socialism, being like, see, this is evil. It's like the man, like, you know, like this is like, he didn't like kick the people out of Marcy projects. Like, he just brought them turkeys and shit when he probably should have done a little more. Like, you know, it's like, like, he's not. It's like looking at somebody like, give me a villain, like a low class villain.
A low class villain?
Yeah.
How low class?
Not too low class. Like, the people should know who he is or she.
Oh, okay, Deathstroke.
A little.
You need
a different one. A little better.
Okay. The Negachin from
Fairly Odd Parents.
Have you seen that meme where the nigga sounds like nigga? They're like, oh no,
yes,
the nigga chin. And it's like, they're like, what? And it's what's his name? I beg your pardon.
The nigga chin.
I beg your pardon. It's like, yo, but yeah, the nigga
chin. No, like the fucking it's like, he's like that. He's like the nigga chin, and like everybody else is literally like fucking Lex Luthor. Like, Elon Musk literally runs like factories where on American soil that don't follow like American procedures of like any type of worker standard. Like, you know what I mean?
Which is
like,
crazy, but he paying the government so much.
Like, people have died in his space rockets. Like, it's like, like this man, this isn't like, that's not what Jay-Z is. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
I'm not saying that.
Don't worry, Jay. You're not that type of billionaire.
No, he's not. It's not like, you know, they don't have like, even like when these celebrities, like when they have like fashion lines of stuff and like they have their clothes made in like Taiwan or other places that like, you know, pay the people like 3 cents an hour. Like most of the time they're not even aware of the fact that that's where the factory is. You know what I mean? They're just like making their money, and it's like, it's ignorant and it's fucked up, but like Elon Musk knows that his factory is fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, no, he does. Like, Jeff Bezos knows that he doesn't give people bathroom breaks and they're peeing in jars next to the assembly line. Like, he knows that shit. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't that. And so like, when you guys like make these big deals and like make this like whole like spiel about like, oh, how black capitalism isn't going to save us and the only thing that's going to uplift us is socialism and all that, I don't believe you. Because you made like a big deal out of some shit that like, when other shit was like standing right next to it, and it's like, this is really a problem. You know what I mean? Like, this is a real problem. Like, one Jay-Z versus like all of the Jeffrey Epsteins, Jeff Bezoses, and everybody else in the world. It's like,
and you chose Jay-Z.
And you chose Jay-Z. Like, that's
this is telling. This is actually very telling.
It feels that way. That's what I'm saying. It feels telling. It doesn't feel like you're on my side. It doesn't feel like you're really fighting the good fight here. It just feels like you're just talking the talk and looking for clicks. And it doesn't, and that looks like that just fucking helps you motherfucking capitalist. Now, you see? That's how it looks. That's what it looks like.
You're capitalizing.
You're capitalizing
upon black billionaires. Yeah. You're trying to reverse ride.
I'm gonna get called a bootlicker so hard.
Yeah, probably.
It is that energy. I'm not gonna lie. But I did have a point. You know, listen, I'm not.
Sure, buddy.
No, listen, I'm not
falling for that tricknology.
I'm not.
Don't overplay it now.
Okay, I'm done. Okay, that was the last time we were gonna do it. Listen, yes, prayers for Puerto Rico. Keep y'all's head up. I want to say thank you for listening to this bullshit that we do every week. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for engaging with us, sharing our memes and all that good jazz. I don't have really much else to say. Say bye to the people, Mitch.
So long, farewell to you, my friend. Goodbye for now.
Damn. All right. I like how your internet messed up in the middle of the show too, because I just
it wasn't even down. It's just I heard and I was like, if I let this carry on, because I haven't done the show since the extender got removed and I forgot. So I was like, if I let this carry on, I know it's probably gonna be, and Logan's gonna be like, why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you let me know that your extender was down and your internet was slower?
Yeah, you should have let me know before the show, but thanks. This has been episode 68 of the Milk and Toast podcast. I've been your host, Logan, and we're out. Bye.